Yo, what is up guys? Yonko Hunter Zoro here. Today I'm going to be starting a new series. I'm doing chapter reviews every week. We're starting on chapter 978 here. So on this week's cover page we can see Lola and Chiffon and Dressrosa. This is the end of this cover page arc, and we can see Beige. Lola and Chiffon, they've been looking to meet up for a while now. Now they finally have, so this arc is now over. On the second page we can see Kawamatsu, Ashura, Doji, and Raizo. They're all in Lost Submarine. They're going to be working as a team probably. And so they're going to the back of Kaido's castle. They're going to be probably trying to take out some calamities maybe before they fight Kaido. I think Law, Kid, and Luffy, they're going to team up to fight Kaido towards the end. So I don't think Law and those scabbards are going to go straight for Kaido right away. Also, I don't think Law and those guys are going to get a fight at the very beginning just because they're going around to the back. They're not going straight through the front like Luffy and the others are, so they're probably not going to get a fight at the very beginning. I think Luffy might get a Blueno-like fight. He might fight, maybe one of the weaker calamities, one of the Toby Roppo, and just low diff them, and then he's probably going to move on to either one of the top calamities or Kaido after that. He might get 2 or 3 fights. I don't think he's just going to fight Kaido or something. And I also don't think he's going to take out Kaido by himself. He needs help from Law, Kid, and maybe Zoro. So we'll see how that turns out. We can see the scabbards are there. We've got Denjiro, who is Kyoshiro, and we can see Kid and Luffy, taking the lead. They're at the front of the attack, so they're probably going to be, key figures, of course. I think Ashura Doji might be a key figure as well, just because he basically low dished Jack, and Jack isn't an easy opponent. He is a calamity. He's a Yonko third commander. So I think if Ashura Doji can do that, he can maybe take on someone like King or, some other Yonko commander. Kinemon mentions that Kaido's forces and Orochi's forces haven't been notified by Kanjuro yet. I don't think that's entirely the truth, just because Kaido and Orochi, they knew the attack was going to come on this day before, about a month before. So I don't think there's any way that they don't know about the attack. Sanji, on the next panel, he mentions that Kaido's castle is all the way in the back, and this is different from the unofficial translation that we got 2 days before the official one came out, in that Sanji said that Kaido's castle is at the bottom. So in fact, it's not going to be an impel down sort of arc, guys. It's going to be more like, Eni's lobby or something. They're going to push their way through. They're going to take out opponents one by one, and then they'll get to the boss fights, like Rob Lucci. That's going to be kind of like Kaido, except maybe there will be Law and Kid teaming up this time. It's not going to be working their way down progressively through harder fights. All the people in the Alliance, they sink their ships, which seems pretty dedicated. And Kinemon, he says, we need no return ships. I think that's going to come back to bite them later, just because it might turn out to be like a Whole Cake Island sort of thing with Kaido or Big Mom chasing them out. And if they don't have ships, they're going to be kind of screwed. So I think they're going to need to use the ships later on, and it's a bad decision to sink them right now. Kinemon, he uses his Devil Fruit to give the whole Alliance clothing, so they look like the Beast Pirates now. I think, that's going to help them infiltrate up until a certain point. Obviously, at some point, they're going to recognize that the people who are dressed up as Beast Pirates are, in fact, not their crewmates or something, and they'll notice. But up until then, I think it will help them get past the underlings. Even if they don't get past the underlings, Luffy or someone can always use Conqueror's Haki and take all of them out, so I don't think it will be too much of a problem, but it will help a bit. And when we finally get to Onigashima, you can see it is completely massive, guys. There is a giant sword, there's a giant skull, there's a giant umbrella, everything is massive. Also, all the buildings and everything, they seem to have some sort of horn theme. All the lion statue things, all the buildings, there's the giant skull with horns. So this might have something to do with ores. And there have been many theories of Kaido being related to ores. I think this skull is definitely a lot bigger than ores, of course. So maybe there was like a race of giants that ores came from. And then Kaido came from, some bloodline to do with ores. But I think Kaido might tie back into all of this. I think ores definitely does tie back into all of this. Because, there's no way they would get that massive skull without there being some sort of giant that used to live. And then deep in Onigashima with Kaido's base, we can see that Queen, Apu, they're all there. And they're just partying. Queen's obviously the MC. Apu's the DJ. I think they're both going to get fights. I think Apu might be a key part in this. He might, join up with the supernovas and help take out Kaido. So in Onigashima, you can see they're throwing a party. They're not paying too much attention. Queen's the MC. He's doing his typical funky thing. Everyone's partying along. I think Orochi's forces and the Flying Six are a bit different because they're obviously not Kaido's forces, which are the waiters, the gifters, the pleasures, those sort of guys. So I think Orochi, since he's more skeptical, his forces might be a bit more alert. We do not, in fact, see Orochi's forces here, like the Oniwabansho. We don't see them here. So I think it's very well possible that they are on guard, whereas Kaido's forces are just having a good time. And so Oda, he kind of lays out the power levels here. We've got the waiters, the people waiting for the smile fruits. They just joined the crew recently, or maybe they just haven't gotten the smile fruits yet. But there is a 9 in 10 chance that if you eat the smile fruit, you don't get any devil fruit powers, and you just, turn into a laughing person. Whereas the 1 in 10 chance, they become the gifters. And the gifters, they're basically just stolen fruits. They've got devil fruit powers. They can't swim, but they don't laugh like the pleasures do, who are basically just the waiters, but they laugh all the time and they can't swim. After that, we've got the Tobiropo and the headliners. The headliners, of course, they're basically like gifters, but they've got a bit more authority. And then the Tobiropo, they get introduced in this chapter. Queen doesn't seem to like them very much because they're not having very much fun. I think they might be taking this a bit more seriously than Queen is. Queen's just partying. The Tobiropo, they seem to be a bit grumpy and ready for a fight. Big Mom's children, they're also at the festival, so I think it's very possible that Big Mom's children will also have a big role. I think, Jinbei, he might fight Smoothie. We don't know if any of the other Sweet Commanders are here. Pedro Sparrow's here. He's got like a 700 million berry bounty, so I think it's very possible we'll get some good fights out of them. Big Mom might be a big fight. Maybe all the supernovas will team up on Big Mom and Kaido. We'll see, but I don't think Oda would bring in Big Mom if she didn't have a big role in his arc. So she's obviously got to do something. Now we get introduced to the Tobiropo, and we've got Black Maria. She's very big. I don't think she's a giant. She's too small for a giant. I think giants in One Piece are around 50 feet tall. There's no way she's that tall. So I think she's just a big human. We've got Ulti, Page 1, Who's Who, X-Drake, and Sasaki. So although Sasaki, he looks like a fisherman, he doesn't actually have web toes. So I don't think he's a fisherman or anything. I think he's just, someone who looks like that. He might have a fight with Jinbei or something because Jinbei, he looks kind of similar to him. Got X-Drake, I think he might be the strongest here. We've got Page 1, Ulti, of course. And Page 1 is actually Ulti's brother. So I think since there's 6 Flying Six members, 3 Calamities, and then Kaido, so I think the weakest 6 Straw Hat Pirates, we've got Robin, we've got Frankie, Chopper, Nami, Usopp, and Brook. I think they're going to take on the Flying Six members. I think Jinbei, Sanji, and Zoro are going to take on the Calamities, and then I think Luffy's going to team up with the other 2 of the 3 supernovas that are here. We've got Law and we've got Kid. I think they're going to team up on Kaido, and then maybe once Zoro or someone, or Sanji, are done with their fights with the Calamities, they might move on to help out with Kaido or Big Mom or something, because I don't think that Zoro's just going to get one fight. This is his arc. It's Wano. He got Enma. He's got to be doing big things here. It's his arc. If he doesn't grow now, how is he going to surpass Mihawk, who's the greatest swordsman in the world and is basically at Yonko level? He's almost an equal to Shanks. So Zoro's got to grow at some point. Thank you guys for watching. I'll catch you next week for another chapter review for chapter 979. I'll also be posting, different theory videos about just general things in One Piece, and I'll catch you in the next episode.